in this 1 minute in logical way, right? So we did that. And then we did it in groups where people would go into separate Zoom groups and they practiced. Their introductions. And when they came back, they delivered this introduction together, where every person took an ownership of one point. And so together you delivered a full-blown presentation, like a real deal presentation. It doesn't matter what the subject was. It doesn't matter how much of a conversation was there, but you worked it through together and you delivered the coherent, great presentation. And then we went through idioms and we discussed the meanings and everywhere, a lot of people were able to do the inputs. And just one more thing to add about introductions that you did in presentation. You practiced for around, I would say, 15 to 20 minutes. When you guys came back, we had another 30 minutes left. 25 people were able to speak in that short period of time. So that's what structure and repetition gave you. You spoke faster, you picked up one after another, you did it collectively, and here's the great result. 25 people got a chance to say at least 2 or 3 words, or short sentence, or longer sentence. So that's how effective it is. And we didn't even spend that much time here together. We just had very clear instructions. So if you bring clarity to your presentation, if you bring clarity and preparation for your interview process, think about how much you can accomplish. It's attainable. It's attainable. So this is just some instruments that I introduced you to, and it really worked great for us. And then the last time we did storytelling on idioms, how to include idioms in your storytelling. And we're also great. We had good stories here. It was fun. I really enjoyed it. And so today we're going to talk about what is public confidence? What is that confidence? What is that English speaking confidence and where it's coming from? Give me some pointers. Where is it coming from, the confidence of speaking English? Where is it coming from? What do you think? Give me a few pointers.
I think it's knowledge.
Knowledge of knowledge. Good point. Knowledge of what?
Vocabulary.
Vocabulary. What else? What else goes into that? What makes
experience?
What is that?
Speaking experience.
Speaking experience, definitely. Speaking practices, speaking experience. What else?
Practice makes perfect.
And practicing the right thing makes it even better. Practicing the right thing, yeah, practicing. Okay. What can you do to get more confident? What do? You all do something. You wouldn't be speaking as well as you're speaking today, whatever your level is, if you were not doing something to move yourself forward. What is it that you do to move yourself forward?
The motivation.
You motivate yourself, okay? Motivate yourself to do what?
To improve
Improve what?
themselves. The speech, the vocabulary.
Vocabulary, okay. And where did you get that vocabulary from?
Practicing anything.
Practicing doing what?
Some exercises.
How about videos?
Oh, yeah.
How about movies? How about
environment?
How about what else was I thinking? Shows, various shows, right? Reading. Yeah, everything goes into that. And definitely speaking and various speaking exercises. So I give you a short list I put together. And I was thinking, should I even show it to you? Because to me, it seems common sense, but then it's very arrogant to think this way because what's clear to you might not be clear to other people. I specifically studied this subject. So I wanted to share this with you, and then I have a great exercise for all of you. Okay, so let me share my screen, and I'll just take you through the points that I thought were important. All right. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So what are the so let's think about those key components for English speaking confidence for ESL students, right? So what are the building blocks? So the building blocks are obviously the language skills. Remember, we're not just talking about the language, we're speaking the confidence, right? So the language skills, they are essential. The mindset, someone was talking about motivation and practice. So let's break it down into pieces and see what is it exactly that we can do more of to get to that confidence. So listening skills are very important and they boost your confidence in conversations. And that comes through listening to other people, listening to videos, obviously, movies, songs, and various accents. The more accents you have around, the more bulletproof you get. And there are some, I worked at one job, I had a set of clients that were all Asians. So that's Japan, it's Malaysia, it's Singapore, it's Vietnam. Vietnam was tough, I have to say. Thailand, Taiwan. And let me tell you, I was exercising every day. Every day, I was thinking of phrases how I can ask a person to repeat themselves, especially if I have to say it in a sixth time. I was complaining about the quality of the sound. I had a earache one time. Not I didn't have it. I just said that they have, so a person could repeat it over and over again. So accents definitely moves you forward. And then you get resilient to hearing your accent because I hear a lot that people say, "Oh, I have an accent." Yes, you do have an accent. You do have an accent. And how can you not have it if you started learning English as an adult? You're not gonna lose it. But you can speak better and you can speak clearer and you can speak well and you can improve your vocabulary. And those things you can do. Accent, you can reduce it by speaking slower and you can reduce it by working on it, but you're not going to get rid of it. And I don't necessarily think we have to. Yes, Elena.
Let me just make a little mark about the accent because you mean like specifically Russian accent because everyone in the US has accent, right? Depending on the area they live, like a Western accent, California accent. They speak about different kinds of accent. And sometimes at the beginning when I worked at the bank in California and the person comes and it's a US person, but they're from like Wild West, whatever.
Even
So
Denver,
I
Colorado.
understand.
Even Denver,
Yeah.
Colorado, which is not that wild, but they have a drawl.
Yeah, so I just wanted to make this little kind of 5 cents.
Yeah, definitely. People also have regional accents, right? Brooklyn to Staten Island. I can't even recreate it. It's so difficult. It's just so different. Anyway, so listening to accents actually is good. It's a helpful thing. Speaking practices. Any kind of speaking practices you could do, I think they're the most effective in gaining confidence. Role playing, creative practices are very important, especially for interview processes. Why? Because you're finding that speaking flow of yours, right? We sound different in a different language. We adapt a little bit a different personality too, right? English is more, I would say, polite, in my opinion, right? It creates more distance between people. It's not in your face. That's my opinion. You don't have to share that. That's what I think. You can think differently. But at the same time, it's very pointed, especially in corporate world. It's very clear. It's straight to the point. But speaking practices is the one thing that gives you confidence because your mind works at a faster pace, right? You're creating phrases that your mind registers and think, oh, I like that. It's like a flavor of an ice cream that you really, really like. Every time you think about ice cream, you crave that. Your brain works in a way where if it agrees with you and gives you pleasure, you want more of that, right? So speaking is exactly the same thing that has an effect on your brain, and then you repeat it over and over and over again. If you said something clever or said something that sounded good, and it makes you feel good. And it definitely raises your confidence. So speaking practices, any creative speaking practices help you. And the interesting thing is that it doesn't only help you with English, it helps you with your own language as well. You start speaking better, you start being more mindful about the way you speak. Also, having supportive environment is important, like what we have here, right? We have the same pain, we have the same problems, we have the same challenges, we have similar goals, so we can help each other. First of all, by listening to each other, right? Oh, I hear that mistake, I make it all the time. Oh, how she said it, that she said it very interesting. I can adapt this phrase. I can borrow this phrase to express my feelings, to express my emotions, to resolve a problem or a situation, or give an input at a meeting, or make a comment at a party, whatever that is, right? Um, and obviously, a supportive environment is very important, which I hope you feel that you have it here. Cultural understanding is very important. Being in an English speaking environment, trying to be a part of it, involving yourself in it, going to a nail salon, going to a sports club, where eventually you're going to see the same people over and over and over again. If you have children, meet other parents, ask for a play date, invite children to your house for play dates, go to the play yards, right, to the park, find those people that you can talk to and practice with. Plus, you never know, they may have a lead for you for a job. I know a friend who she's actually studying to be QA, and she needed a job, and guess what, she met through parents, through schools. She got a job at a school right now, and for the time being, it's great, it worked. Self-assessment, and self-assessment also comes in a group. When you're with other people, you hear yourself better. If you're in a safe environment, you don't get embarrassed, you just think you're being proactive. Oh, I need to fix that. Oh, that may sound better. So being aware of your areas of improvement, like put it this way, it's very beneficial to you. So I try to give you this comments about how you pronounce the word, what's your speech pace is. Should you slow down? Should you speak a little bit maybe faster to make that good impression on people and to sound better and more professional as well? So that's important, really understanding what areas I need to improve and how I can improve it. And setting realistic goals. Speaking like a native, this is not a realistic goal. It's not at all. Like, at all. Speaking well is. Speaking well is. And what else did I put here? Practice outside the classroom. Try to engage in conversations with people, interact with others. And obviously, what I mentioned already, movies, music, books. Try to summarize things. If you see news, for example, try to summarize it. If you're listening to a podcast, slow down for 2 or 3 minutes and try to repeat what person is saying. 2 or 3 minutes a day, not going to kill anybody. But if you do it a daily practice, you're going to pick up more vocabulary. Your sentence structure will improve, and your pronunciation will improve as well. So confidence building activities, that goes back to impromptu speaking exercises, and this is exactly what we're going to have here today. Public speaking opportunities, language games. We did a language game last time, and everyone seemed to like it. When we choose a word And for 30 minutes, we speak all the words that are associated with the main word. Good exercise, good to do daily, that you can do on your own every day. Role models and inspirations, like successful English speakers who also are ESL learner himself. I am an ESL I'm a multicultural English speaker. I came here, I didn't speak any English at all. That was very stressful, I have to say. I wouldn't want to go through this again. That was very unpleasant. I once went when we first arrived here, there was no internet. It was 32 years ago, and we still wrote letters to each other. And so I went to the post office, and there were lines at the post office at the time to buy post stamps. And so I stood in line and I was practicing to myself, international post stamp, international post stamp. And then I got distracted and I was repeating this word without any meaning. And by the time I got to the window and the person asked me, "How can I help you?" I forgot the word. I just forgot it. And I started crying. I stood there's a huge line. I don't want to go back to this line. And she was like, "Honey, it's okay. Nice New Jersey lady." I was like, "What do you need? Just point." And it was even more embarrassing. And then I ran out, sat on the steps, and I was crying there. And all of a sudden, I remembered the word. I dried my tears. I went inside and I was screaming from the door, "International post stamp!" The line was laughing. They let me go through and I got my post stamps. But it's crazy, the situations, they're like left and right, like every turn you make. What do I do now? Right? But you learn. These are the situations that you learn through. And the next thing is persistence and patience and consistency. Consistency. Do it every day. As I said with those podcasts, if you repeat the podcast, 3 minutes of a podcast, just slow it down, bring it to a lower speed, and mouth it with them. And just repeat everything they say. Practice outside of the classroom. English movies and mouth every letter. You will not talk like that after that. I promise you, it's not going to stick. It's not going to stick. You'll be able to speak normally. But that will help you for sure. And this is all I had for you today. Did I mention something that you didn't know before? I don't think so. Does it make sense? Ladies? What do you think?
Yes, it makes sense.
But it's not anything you didn't know before, right? And think about it when I asked you a question and I asked you to name a few things. We didn't have that many. So it's just to remind ourselves what's out there, what's available, and what we can do to get better. Knowing the vocabulary, I agree. I'm completely new here. Okay, Oksana, you do well. Right now, we're just listening. Do you have any questions? Oksana?
Hello, everyone. Can you repeat the question, please?
Do you have any questions from what we just discussed? Is something?
No, everything is clear for me.
Yeah, and you understand everything.
Yes,
Fantastic.
100%.
Congratulations. Excellent job. All right. So the next part of this class today will be, there is a Word document that I attached in the chat. I recommend that how many people we have. I don't know if everyone will participate in the exercise. I would suggest that you open this document so you don't lose it when you go into the groups. There are different topics there. It's a bit of a mix of the topics. They're not really organized in any kind of order, but I'm going to break you into groups of 4. And I would like for you to pick a topic and create a little story between the 4 of you. And when you come back, every person will deliver a piece of the story. So let's, for example, let me look at the. So for example, there is a question like that. What app on your phone do you waste the most time on and why? So everyone can talk about their own app and tell why. This is really for the purpose of storytelling. This is not rocket science. This is not to do anything extremely intelligent. This is delivering a story. Or for example, another question, what motivates you to be your best? And everyone can talk about that and discuss what works, what doesn't work, see if you have similar points and try not to deliver the same point. So every person would be talking about the same thing, but everyone has different motivations. Does that make sense? Do you have any questions? Is the direction clear? Do you understand what you need to do? If don't, please ask. Anybody?
You said you pinned a document.
The document is in the chat. Let me know if you see it.
I don't see any document in the chat.
Do you guys see document in the chat? Yeah.
Yes.
It's up. Go a little bit higher. It's in the beginning. I did it at the beginning of the class at 11 a.m.
Okay, thank you.
Or here.
I joined at 11.
Okay, so let me resend it. Okay, I'll resend it to you. How do I do that? Sure. Okay. I just sent it again.
Hello, Tatiana.
Hi.
I have questions. Thank you for this explanation. We can choose another topic. We have the day 1, day 2, day 3.
You can take any topic from these days. This was from another class where we had 30 days. So it's just like a good list of various topics so you could pick and choose what works, what doesn't work for you. Because if you do a list of 5, that might be not enough. So I just use this list. So we're going to go into the groups. We have 35 people if people don't run away. You have to speak, guys. That's the only way to move forward. Really try. This exercises, believe me, you will not find that many opportunities to do exactly this. You will talk about interviews specifically. You will build your self pitch specifically, and we'll do it in the next class. But speaking like this, you will not get an opportunity other than the apps. Do it on your own. So take advantage of it and have fun with it. What am I looking for? Oh. Okay. So I'm going to create 9 groups right now. You're going to go into the groups. It's 11:29. So we're going to reconvene at 12, which is plenty of time. No, it's 11:30. No, it's too much time for you. I'll give you 20 minutes, like 10 to 12, my time, US time. Okay? All right. So I'm going to create groups now. You're going to go into the groups. Any other questions about the direction, instructions? No? Tati, you have the time, you have the hand up. Do you have a question? Oh, no, not this point. Okay. So we're going to create 9 rooms. And have fun, you guys. Have fun. Like, look at it as a fun exercise. This is not to be serious about or sad about. They just really have fun and practice and enjoy yourself and see how well you could do and make it a great presentation so other people would enjoy listening to that. Do a good customer service for others, for yourself and the others. All right, see you later.